And we are live. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I hope the weather's as beautiful for you as it is for me. We got a little bit of cool spout here in Northeast Texas. It is it's a little chilly outside this morning. I hope your day's going as well as mine. I do have to apologize. I want to warn you in advance. If you're watching this, I'm a little salty right now. Um, we just need to have a really blunt discussion about what's going on. And I might say a few things that might be deemed culturally insensitive today. So I just want to give you a heads up, a little warning. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get into it. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Really good to see you. Wow, it's coming out the gate already. New West Bill with hitting us this morning with the support. I appreciate you, brother. I do appreciate you. So yeah, this is happening this morning again. Trump is convening his war cabinet again. So yeah, this happened. This happened. Trump took to social media and declared victory, literally declared victory. Said that there would be, peace is imminent. It's going to happen very quickly, very quickly. That, yeah. Anyways, he declares victory. He said we're going to have peace immediately. Yada yada yada. I told you he was looking for some talking points. He was looking for something that he could hang his hat on. That made him feel better about the headlines, and because he did this. He created this goddamn disaster, and he did it for Israel. Let's just be really, really clear about this. There was no threat to us. There was no threat to Europe. There was no threat to any of our allies. Just fucking Israel. Israel wanted to do this. Netanyahu wanted to do this, and that's why we're fucking here. Period. That's it. Did they achieve their goals? Nope. Nope. Not a damn, not one. Not one. Not one damn goal. Did a lot of people die needlessly? Yep. Are a lot more people going to die needlessly? Yep. We're pissing billions upon billions of dollars away. Our dollars, our munitions, our weapons, our soldiers' lives are going to continue to just flood down this fucking toilet. Because two fucking old psychopaths need some press, need some attention, need to sound powerful, need to distract from the fact that they're fucking pieces of shit. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what happened, what got us here. Why do we have a war cabinet convening? Because yesterday, this ship This ship, it is not called the Moran Canopus anymore, although it hasn't been painted. It was purchased. It belonged to a Greek shipping company. This is an oil tanker, a very large oil tanker. It was purchased by the Indian shipping company Sanmar, Sanmar Shipping, and it is now called the Sanmar Herald. Yesterday, Iran attacked this tanker. Just as an interesting side note, that's what it looks like full. This is what it looks like empty. Give you an idea of the weight of the oil that you could actually smash a ship that far down into the water. I just thought that was fascinating. A little juxtaposition there of pictures so that you can see what they look like full versus empty. This is the Jag Arnav, also owned by an Indian shipping company. It is a dry bulk carrier. It was also attacked in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. Interestingly, the radio traffic, the last radio traffic, both ships survived the attacks, by the way. They were not intended to sink the vessels. These attacks were to just prevent other ships from doing the same thing. It was basically a very severe warning. The radio transmission from the captain was just, I don't know, you tell me the right words for this. His last radio transmission was, "You said we could transit. You said we could transit." There's another image of the Jag Arnav. And you know, it's not just this. I just want to call attention. I do. I just want to call attention. This isn't, for the people sitting here, especially the jerk off MAGA people that are here, that are watching this like it's some sort of television drama, like it's actually just some fictional story and doesn't really affect people. I just want to show you something to just kind of bring it home to the reality of how much this is just in dollars, just in currency, how much this idiocy is costing us. And as the consumers, the end consumers, we have to pay for it. We have to pay for it. This all ends up coming out of your pocket in additional costs. Just, it's things like this that you never even thought about. Expenses from this fucking debacle that you never even fucking thought about. Let me show you another ship that came under fire. This is the Mein Schiff 5, this is the Mein Schiff 5. It is a beautiful cruise liner. It actually did not come under fire itself, but its sister ship did. It was not hit. It reported a large splash, a large explosion. It was a warning shot. The Mein Schiff 4, their captain reported coming under fire off the coast of Oman. Here's the story behind this. Beautiful boat, right? Beautiful boat. We're talking about $1.5 billion in ships that have been stuck in Abu Dhabi. They have been stuck in Abu Dhabi since early March. They had to offload 2 cruise ships worth of passengers, and they had to fly. Remember the disasters in the Abu Dhabi airport? They had to unload all their luggage and fly all their passengers home because the cruise ships were stuck. Well, when the straits were open, TUI Cruise Lines, that owns the Mein Schiff 5 and the Mein Schiff 4, said, get them the fuck out of there. Go. They had been sitting, idling, topped off with fuel, just waiting. And when the moment it came through, man, they hauled ass. They put the foot on the gas and they hauled ass, man. They were getting out of there, and then boom, warning shot. They have both headed to Muscat, Oman. To give you an idea of the region we're talking about, they were stuck in Abu Dhabi. Here's Abu Dhabi here. They were stuck in Abu Dhabi. They hauled ass through the strait, and when they were here in the strait, again, warning shot, they both ported in Muscat this morning. This is Muscat in Oman. And they will be heading back to the port. This isn't folks, this is the kind of thing I'm telling you has people absolutely just enraged right now. I want you to imagine being that company. You know, let's just set aside now the 7,000 or so passengers that were stuck in the Persian Gulf over this fucking Netanyahu stupidity. That piece of shit, Netanyahu. The 7,000 people that had to be flown home, stuck in the Persian fucking Gulf because of a choice by 2 psychopaths. But then now, you've got people that are, corporations that are looking at just going belly up. Folks, this is $1.5 billion worth of cruise ships. Do you think the people that floated, and the way it works is cruise ships borrow the money to build the ship, to have the ships built. And they have to pay. Just like when you buy a car, you've got a car payment. They've got a boat payment that they've got to make. And that boat has been sitting fucking still. Both of them sitting still, eating dollars the entire time. The entire fucking time. Just eating dollars, making no money. How many employees, to answer the question to the guy in there says, who gives a shit? How many employees do you think are sitting there watching their livelihoods just fucking evaporate? How long do you think a cruise line can sit and let $1.5 billion worth of ships sit? Making them payments, man. Paying the crews. Because, they've got to be ready to, haul ass. I mean, the crews were on the ship. Now, the wait staff and, all of that, those people had to be flown home too. All the people that worked on there's about 1,000 people on these cruise ships that make a living taking care of the passengers. No passengers. You don't need the people to take care of them. Their contracts terminated, gone. Go home, go back to Indonesia. Sorry, no money for your family. Just gone. Just gone. Go. Trump and Netanyahu. Trump and Netanyahu just made it in, 1,000 people's just go. And this is before you talk about everything else. This is just one instance. One instance. This is why I'm so goddamn salty this morning. This is just one freaking instance of all the ships that are stuck in the Persian Gulf, in all the companies, all the businesses, everybody that's waiting on that energy to come out of that Gulf. And this is before we talk about this stuff. This just happened. Right now, there's a family in France that just a few hours ago got notified that their son's not coming home. He's in a box on a plane. Three other UNIFIL soldiers, French UNIFIL soldiers, were also injured severely. They're still in the ICUs. Can't transport them yet. They were attacked by Hezbollah. They were clearing mines. They were clearing IEDs on the side of a road. They were clearing IEDs and on the side of the road. When they got too close to Hezbollah territory, see, that's how it works. Most people don't know what Hezbollah is. They don't understand how any of it works. They're just told they're the bad guys. That's it. They're actually in Lebanon. They're actually part of the government. They're kind of like a state within a state. They actually have MPs in the Lebanese government, and they know that UNIFIL, the UN peacekeepers, share intelligence with the IDF, with the Israelis. So they tell, I mean, this is not something that's hidden. This is not something that is a fucking shock. I mean, this is something that Hezbollah, I mean, they've got a structure, they've got a president, they've got a secretary general of Hezbollah, guy by the name of Qasim, just runs the fucking thing. And they told the UNIFIL soldiers, you share intelligence with Israel. We consider you enemy combatants. These are the areas where you cannot go. We control them. And if you come near a weapons cache or a high value target, we will open fire on you. And that's what happened. That's what happened. They think this group got too close to a Hezbollah weapons cache. So now, right now, as we talk, there is a soldier on his way home to his wife and kids, his mother and father, in a fucking box. Richard Lawton got a bit salty watching that dipstick Russell Vought testify. Could not watch it all in one sitting. Yeah, these people are clueless, ridiculous idiots, drunks, drug addicts. This regime is the biggest fucking joke. Boulder Crypto Sissy Dragon, you're holding back. Say how you really feel. E.T. The Mad King convenes another session of public bowing and scraping at the base of his pedestal so that they can try to make him feel good. Yeah, that's really what this is all about. E.T., how much have you had to give up in the last month? Kathy Evans, welcome. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Dave Barone, if I can't have it, nobody will. Donnie will burn it all down rather than give up power. Agent Cajun John, I've traveled the world a few times and got stuck in Newfoundland during 9/11, couldn't fly out because all international flights were landing there. Not a fan of cruises. Looks nice, but I would never take a cruise. I actually like cruises. I do. It's one of my favorite ways to vacation. The hotel comes with you. You move your luggage once, set up, hang your clothes, and the hotel comes with you. I actually like cruising. The restaurants, the bars, everything comes with you. Ollie, we got to control Congress. Amen. 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 Jordan B. Miller, MAGA, morons are governing America. Amen, brother. Amen, Jordan. McBassage, all because Donnie Dwindles never learned that no means no. Amen. Amen. I want to have a blunt discussion. And, look, I know I'm going to be a little offensive today. I am. I'm going to talk about some people's homes. It's their home. I know it. But I'm going to give you my honest, unvarnished opinion. This is what's going on in Lebanon. The government in Lebanon doesn't want this shit going on. They don't. This is Joseph Aoun. He's the president of Lebanon. He was a general in the Lebanese army. He is now the president of Lebanon. He doesn't want this. But he understands the reality of his country is that Hezbollah is a political party. I mean, they're actually fucking elected. There are sections of Lebanon that support Hezbollah. They do. They're like, those are my guys. And they vote for them. And Hezbollah is heavily armed. I mean, 50 caliber machine guns mounted on vehicles, RPGs and, advanced rocketry. They're heavily armed. And Joseph Aoun is pretty blunt about this. He's like, we couldn't disarm these people if we wanted to. And we don't necessarily want to. Because they're Lebanese. They live here. That's something that you need to keep in mind is they're Lebanese in Lebanon. And the IDF and Netanyahu says, we're just going to keep blowing the shit out of Lebanon until the Hezbollah is disarmed. And Hezbollah has its own demands. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But the official position is of the Lebanese government, and I shit you not, is fuck it. Have at it. We can't stop this. YouTube groups. Israel's fucking unreasonable. Hezbollah's fucking unreasonable. They're insisting that they're going to fight each other. It's a goddamn dogfight. And the president of Lebanon's official position is literally, fuck it. I'm done. I got nothing I can do. They're going to fight. Really? I'm not bullshitting you. That is his official position. What the fuck do you want me to do? I don't control either of these people. They want to fight. They're going to fight. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants fighting but these two fucking groups, and that's what's going to happen. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Hezbollah demands and what it's all about. And I shit you not, it's about this mountain right here. I shit you not. I want you to think about for a second. This is Mount Hermon. And it's not specifically this mountain. It's the snow. No shit. That snow you see? That's what this is all about. All of this in Lebanon is that fucking snow right there. I'm not joking. I'm not even kidding in the slightest. It all boils down to that fucking snow right there. Hezbollah's official claim to being justified to constantly attacking Israel, which they do. I'm not going to bullshit you. They do. They fire rockets into northern Israel. This goes back to 1967. 1967. There was a war in which Syria, Jordan, and Egypt attacked Israel, and Israel whooped their asses. And when they did, they took the Golan Heights. There's a little small sliver area in there called Sheba Farms. Sheba Farms. I'll show you on the map here in just a second. This is Sheba Farms. No shit, it's a little over 5,000 acres. I swear to God, I'm not fucking kidding. This is what it's really boiling down to. The snow melt off of Mount Hermon flows down into aquifers under Sheba Farms. Sheba Farms is a lot like the hill country here in Texas. It's all limestone. Water is fantastic. The water in San Antonio, Texas is some of the best water you will ever have in your entire life. It's very hard water, don't get me wrong, but it is some of the most delicious, perfect water you'll ever have in your entire life. The snowpack runs down through the limestone into aquifers under Sheba Farms. What's the dispute? Lebanon claims to own that 5,000 plus acres. Syria claims to own that 5,000 plus acres. And Israel claims to own that 5,000 plus acres as part of their occupied territories of the Golan Heights. Who's got it right now? Israel. Israel occupies it. There are Israeli military bases that occupy it. The runoff from Mount Hermon flows into the aquifers under Sheba Farms, which flow into the Dan River, which feeds the River Jordan. I want you to take a look at this, but before we take a look at this, I want you to think about the billions upon billions upon billions of dollars that we have wasted in this fucking region, this fucking shithole region. Not just this year, just over decades. Just over decades. how many lives, how many terrorist attacks, how many hundreds of billions, maybe even trillions of dollars? How many lives? I mean, I want you to think about what's about to happen next with this shit in Iran. And it all boils down to this, to this little fucking nub of land. 5,000 fucking acres. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. This is the Jordan River that you've heard so much about. This is the fucking Jordan River, man. That's it. That's the good spot. Do some subsistence farming off of it. Feel free to Google the Jordan River. There's a few studio pictures taken in a few spots that are kind of pretty, but this is really it. This is what it looks like. And this is the best of it. This is literally the best of Shabbat farms. See how rocky it is? This is why I compare it to the Texas Hill Country. See how rocky it is? It's not even the arable land. I mean, this is as good as it gets right here in the region. And this is what I mean by I'm going to be culturally insensitive. This is as good as it fucking gets. These are all images from Shabbat farms. 5,000 acres. This is the good part. See all these rocks and shit? Remember, it's all limestone. This is what most of it looks like. I told you that was the good parts. This is what most of it looks like. I wouldn't give you a nickel a fucking acre for this place. Even if the wars weren't there, I wouldn't give you a nickel a fucking acre. Yet we spend billions between the UN and the IDF and Hezbollah and Lebanon and Syria and Iran and the United States and Europe and everybody else. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars in this shithole. Look at this place. Fucking look at it. And it's tiny. 5,400 fucking acres. I've hunted a ranch that here in Texas, South Texas, that's twice that size. One guy's fucking ranch, twice that size. And what's it boiled down to, really? Let's go to the map. We got Lebanon here, Syria, and Israel. See these dots? That's the Jordan River. You know, from the river to the sea, that's the fucking Jordan River. There's the Sea of Galilee. That's it. I mean, you're looking at it right now. That's it. That's why we're pissing this money away. That's why our soldiers keep dying. Is a bunch of people, a bunch of fucking children living in a desert that for the last 70 years haven't been able to figure out fucking water rights and how to get along. And we've got a corrupt ass psychopath in Benjamin Netanyahu that cannot survive peace. He can't. Peace? Why do they need Netanyahu if they have peace? Why? I want you to think about what we could have done. Think about what we could have done with the money for these people. If we'd have just done it peacefully. You know, before you add in all of the industry and all that would have been created if the war hadn't been going on, if the fighting hadn't been going on, if the shit that hadn't been going on now, if we had just invested the money peacefully. Desalinization plants, anyone? How about building a few reservoirs? You know, all the shit that we need to do right here because, hey, we're running out of water. 330, 340 million people now live in the country. We've got a whole hell of a lot of infrastructure work to do here on water. But imagine the last few decades. Just imagine the last few decades. I sat here this morning looking at this place, and it really just struck me. And you know what? I'm not being a bigot when I say it. I'm not being, I know this is your home, but there are places near my home, right here in the state of Texas. I see your comments. I'm not muted. That's you. That's your problem, not me. I'm not muted. But there are places right here in the state of Texas I wouldn't give you a fucking plug nickel an acre for. So yeah, I'm not being a bigot when I say it. But I'm just saying enough is enough. I'm kind of with Joseph Allen on this one. When I read what he said, I got to tell you, it hit me. It hit me like a sledgehammer right here. Exactly how much, when is enough enough? When is enough enough? Seriously. Over a bunch of people that cannot regulate their water. Over a bunch of people that, for God's sake, treat other people like fucking animals. That's another one that hit me right here. Is, we call them Hamas, we call them Hezbollah, but what they are people. They're people. They should all be forced to put bumper stickers on all their vehicles that says, "My Sky Wizard can kick your Sky Wizard's ass." Because between the religious bullshit and the fighting over water and the 70-year-old beefs over where this border is and where that border is, and I don't know, am I the only one that's done with this? Because that's where I am today. I am done with this. I am done with it all. If we would just take the money we spend, if we would just take the money we spend warring over this little bitty fucking nothing D-grade real estate that you wouldn't live in by choice, and we would just, I don't know, build some shit. And you know what? I got to tell you, I don't mean to be ageist here. I don't mean to be ageist. But have you noticed that every one of these motherfuckers causing these problems are in their 70s? Every one of them. The leader of Hezbollah, the leader of Netanyahu, Trump, all of them. They're all fucking old people, man. I'm done. If we never sent another goddamn dollar to Israel, I would be a happy man. I would be a happy man. If we would focus on energy independence and building shit here so that we didn't need as much oil, I would be a happy man. Because let me tell you, we are about to spend probably 50 to $100 million over the next few days. People are going to die. Iranians are going to die. Americans are going to die. People that live in Bahrain are going to die. People that live in, Oman are going to die. That's what Trump's doing right now. Trump has convened that doddering old fool has convened his war cabinet, and he's surrounded with people like drunk ass Hegseth, war fighter, war ethos. Those are the people talking to him. The guy that thinks the line from Pulp Fiction, Ezekiel 25:17, is an actual Bible quote, which, by the way, I don't know who needs to know this. It is not. There is an Ezekiel 25:17 that has a grain of what you saw in Pulp Fiction in it. But that is not the translation of that quote at all. That was written for Samuel L. Jackson to deliver as a monologue. It's Hollywood fiction, and our Secretary of War is quoting it like a Bible scripture. Because he's stupid. He's a stupid, stupid man who should not be in the job he is in. He has no business being in that job. Just for the record, every general, even the MAGA piece of shit generals, when Donald Trump said he wanted to do this with Netanyahu, said, no, you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. This will take a minimum 6 months prior planning and preparation. You don't want to do that. No. Did it anyways. He said, no, you do it anyways. Because last time we did it, look, Iran didn't do anything. Now here we are. Here we are. Cassie Lake, keeping democracy alive and the public is informed by keeping the coffee pot full. Love from Canada. Glad to see you here, my Canadian brothers and sisters. And I want to apologize to our European brothers and sisters. I want to apologize to our Australian brothers and sisters. I got your email, by the way, the other day. I want to apologize. I do. I just want to apologize for all of this. The dumbest among us couldn't be bothered to take politics seriously for half a fucking minute and elected a television piece of shit, moralist pile of shit to run our president, run our government as president, because they couldn't be bothered to follow what's going on in the actual world. They were too busy watching 90 Day fucking Fiance. Can you tell I don't like that show? Can you tell I don't like that show? Kyra, thank you for being here. Kyra loves Michael. I hope you're having a good day, Michael. This is from my husband, Michael. He loves you too. Thank you. I appreciate you, Michael. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. Jeremy Breeden, finally get to catch a live again today. Keep speaking the truth and stay salty, my friend. Oh, yeah. There was something about actually, I wanted to talk a little bit. It's more complicated. I'm not going to bullshit you. It is, there are more complications. There are more wrinkles involved than what we just talked about. But that is actually the fucking root of this. The snowpack runoff of Mount Hermon into the Sheba Farms, the aquifers under Sheba Farms that feed the River Dan, that feeds the River Jordan, thus fresh water. That is really the root of all of this. And for 1% of what we've spent, we could have fixed all of this. But no, Netanyahu don't want to go to jail for his corruption. So no, war. Omniscient Sphinx, hearing about how, his wife really loves those expensive handbags. His wife really loves those expensive handbags. So yeah, I mean, why not spend $1 trillion in the fucking region so that his wife can have her fucking handbags? Omniscient Sphinx, hearing about how the FBI had to bash down the door to get too drunk as hell cash. What a disgrace. Yeah, that is shaken out to be something that really happened. This is, you've got what Kash Patel says, and then you've got what the reporter says. Kash Patel says didn't happen, fake news. And the reporter says, I've got receipts. Kash Patel says, I'm going to sue you. And the reporter says, fucking do it. Do it. Sue me. I think I'm believing the reporter on this one, that they're actually reporting that not only have they had to reschedule meetings for the head of the FBI, the guy that runs the FBI can't make it to morning meetings because he's drunk. That they had to literally bash his door in because they couldn't wake him up banging on the fucking door. They now have assigned a breaching unit to travel with him in case they have to force doors open. That's a real thing. That was part of that reporting. That's our government, folks. That's our government. Ann Hopland, Texas Paul, if you like cruises, I recommend taking a coastal cruiser, Hurtigruten, along the west coast of Norway. No great way to travel the fords. I'm sorry, I said no there. I don't get to see the flags. I don't know why they will not show the freaking flag. Does anybody, if you know this, please email me and tell me why this is, that none of these platforms will show the goddamn flags. It says CA or NO or, you know what I mean? Just show the flags, man. Just show the damn flags. Thank you. And I actually, that is on my bucket list. I want to spend a lot of time up there. Just everything I've seen, for the lack of a better way to put the starkness of the fjords, it's just, you can tell it is one of those things that pictures will not do it justice. Like when I saw the Grand Canyon, I was like, oh my God. It'll literally just, your jaw will drop. You'll stop talking, just seeing it. The pictures you've seen don't even come close. You know, that's what when I see the fjords, when I see Norway, when I see, just Northern Europe in general, I know the pictures are not doing it justice, and I can't wait to get there. Veggie Owl Girl, what the hell is that Frank Sinatra video, My Way, that Donnie Boy tweeted about? I don't know. I didn't catch that one, man. I didn't. There was, that one got by me. Rock and Ron, thank you. Thank you. Austin Mack, welcome. Crafty Ass Gardner, thank you for always being so generous and gifting membership for people. I love the inclusiveness of our group, man. Helen of Scots, thank you for gifting the memberships, Helen. I appreciate you. Thank you. Francie Fosdick, thank you for gifting the memberships. Folks, that right there, that's just 15 free memberships to anybody that wants one. If you're in the live show, just hit the join button and pick it up, man. Pick it up. 5 p.m. somewhere, decades of suffering, all because of liquids, oil and water. E.T., most of which comes back to one wanting to do anything about a bunch of people that were still alive when they liberated the camps. 5 p.m. somewhere. Imagine the savings if Trump allowed windmills to slaughter processed chickens in Turkey. Yeah. Not funny right now, man. Not funny. Metal Rabbit. If you follow the Arab-Israeli Jew of Islam, the problema is Zionism. Holocaust scholars saying the same. Ethno-nationalism needs to go. It's really easy just to put it on one people. It really is. But, fuck that. Fuck that. I've got nothing for anybody in that fucking region right now. Nothing right now. Not today. Not today. After seeing this happen again and just, Just I am not in that place today. 5 PM somewhere, it's Sunday. Do I go to church or watch Pulp Fiction? Amen, brother. Metal Rabbit. Our religious fanatics are part of the problem. Yep. George Leidenweber, old men getting rich and young people dying. Yep. Yep. 5 PM somewhere. I'm afraid to be a troll because America's bridges are failing. Yeah, we've got to. There's so much we need to do here at home. There's so much we need to do here at home. You know, um, we talked in the last show about the Louisiana bill where they're criminalizing homelessness. I don't know. How about we deal with homelessness? We could end all homelessness for less than what we've pissed away on this godforsaken fucking region. Johnny Lott, welcome home, Paul. The U.S. and Israel create terrorists. You know what? Again, I appreciate what you're saying there, but today that's not where I'm at. I'm at a pox on all your fucking houses. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. It's real easy for people to say, "Oh, it's this group and it's that group and it's this group." We elected that piece of shit. I know you and I didn't. We worked against it. I voted for the smart lady. I voted for the smart lady with the great laugh. But still, it's our president. Real easy to just say, America. I mean, you don't want to wear that label, right? Melissa Grubb. It's the FA reality TV administration. We have to make it so unqualified people can never hold cabinet positions ever again. Amen. Amy, thank you for being here. To be fair, Keg Breath, if you watch the intro to the prayer, he says it was a modified quote from an airman. Rod, for decades now, I have believed that peace in the Middle East could be achieved by widespread implementation of air conditioning. Yeah. Katie Dotson, the quote by Hegseth was a prelude to an assassination. Think about it. Skeet Sayre, regardless of where we live, Texas Paul is a beacon of truth in the world of lies. Keep fighting. We won in Hungary, and that is just the start. Metal Rabbit, I blame Mark Burnett for the Apprentice infomercial. Yeah, no shit. ET, it is less than 29 weeks until the general election. Verify your voter registration and deadline dates. Know your early voting dates. Get involved. Amen. We're just over 6 months away. Skeet Sayre, the administration has no one who has merit. Buffoon is a prerequisite. Yep. Hermano Delphi, holy shit. China is doing it right without killing. I will tell you, China has a fundamental corruption problem. Talk to my friend Hal Sparks about it. I mean, he speaks on it eloquently. He really does. China lies their ass off. They, you could buy 5 apples from the government of China, and 3 would show up, and they would tell you it was 5. It's the way they roll. It's what they. Don't get me wrong. So what I'm telling you is I'm not singing the praises. I'm kind of down on everybody today, if you can't tell. I'm not singing the praises of China. I'm not. But as far as their approach, yeah, let's be more like that. Let's build shit. Let's fix shit. Let's engage in soft diplomacy. I mean, has anybody thought about sitting down with Hezbollah and saying, is there anything I could buy you? that could make you want to stop doing this? I mean, fucking bribe them at this point. I just, you know, I'll build you 10 lakes. How does that sound? You know, I mean, I just really, at this point, this has gotten so pervertedly stupid. You know, I was sitting there preparing for this show this morning, and I just got more and more and more done with it. I am so over all of this. And here's the assignment. Yeah, we got to change our infrastructure. We do. We've got to make this place. The real estate, as I've shown you, is already, it's shit. The real estate is shit. We don't need this place. We don't need it for farming. We don't need it for food. These people want to fucking kill each other from now to eternity. Have at it. You do that to each other. We need to get over our energy independence so we don't even have to look at this portion of the map ever fucking again. I hate the injustice of all of this. I really do. And I will say it again. Netanyahu's a fucking psychopath. He is corrupt. He is, all of this is to keep his sorry, flabby fucking 70-year-old ass out of prison and keep his bitch wife in designer purses. Fuck that noise, man. I am so done with this. I am so done with this. Pack our shit and come home. Angela Spielman, welcome. Is anybody else where I'm at on this? I mean, I would love to hear. In fact, let's do that. Let's just go into a round table at this point. I want to hear from you. I want to hear where you're at. I want to hear your thoughts on this, what you think we need to be doing. I mean, we are one hell of a community here. You are some sharp people. You are informed people. You are plugged in people. Where are you at? What do you think we should do going forward? Chandra Patton, thank you. You know, I was sitting down with my grandson yesterday. We had lunch together. He's so busy all the time with school and, I mean, the way young people are. And he's taken a huge load in school, so he really doesn't have time. And, I've asked him to go to lunch a couple times, and he's turned me down. And I could just tell yesterday, it was like, okay, I can't say no again, And we were sitting down, and it was so good to talk to him and listen to him. And I will tell you, these young people, they're done with this. They are done with this. My grandson's looking at, I can't afford a house. I'm about to get out of college. With a degree, I should be able to earn a good living with. He didn't go get some artsy fartsy degree. I mean, he's working on a degree plan that industry needs. Okay. And he's really like, I don't know that I can afford a house. He's met a really great young woman. And these two are, they're doing it. And I joke about it. I say, I hate you two. I really do. I hate you two. Because they did everything that we all should have done. They did it right. They're getting their education. They're not rushing out and having kids. They're not rushing out and getting married. They're not, you know what I mean? They're both working on themselves, but even doing it right with two families behind them that are paying to educate them. These two kids are fucking terrified. Rightfully so. And here I am waking up this morning to Grandpa Poopy Pants Orange McFucking idiot. And I'm done. I'm done. I don't care that he needs to save face. I don't care about his psychological problems. I don't care that his daddy didn't spend time with him and his mom was a freaking nut that didn't hug him. I don't care. If he lives to see tomorrow, I don't care. I'm done. Mr. Knutson, no flag emoji is hard to make for most browsers. AI helps me. Welcome to Norway anytime. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Visit the West Coast if you want epic views. I am telling you, I know. I look at these pictures, brother. I look at these pictures and I'm like, I've traveled enough that I know there are places that pictures never do justice. You know, I've been to some places where the pictures were like much better than where I was at. And I was like, yeah, that's not what this looks like. I've been standing exactly right there. And that is not what that place looks like. You know what I mean? I've had that experience before too. But yeah, I am dying to spend some time in Northern Europe. Ireland also is another place that I want to spend some time. Just it looks absolutely stunning. It does. George Lyndon Webber, for eons, it was nomadic people in that region in here. Yep. Yep. Linda Orndorff, did you catch Pete Buttigieg's rally in Oklahoma? He makes common sense common again. I think he can bring America together and moving forward again. I voted for Pete Buttigieg. I did. I supported him over Biden. I did. I'm ride or die, baby. I am ride or die. When Biden won the nomination, I was on the Biden train, baby. I worked my ass off. I did. But my first choice, when it was just me alone with who I liked and who I said, that guy's the kind of leader I want, it was Pete Buttigieg. I hope he gets some traction. I really do. I really do. I hope he gets some traction. Ray Lee Jr., if we repeal all Republicans' tax cuts going back to Reagan, we could have health care, free education, free daycare, end homelessness, open up the mental health system in insane asylums, etc. You know, if they had just stopped stealing from Social Security, you wouldn't have to pay a penny in Social Security taxes right now. It would be self-sustaining. If they just hadn't been stealing from it continuously, there would be enough funds that even with just, non-Wall Street, we're not going to throw it into stocks, just basic, secure investment, it would be completely self-sustaining. And no generation going forward would have to pay a Social Security tax for Social Security to exist if they had just not been greedy fuckers. Melissa Grubb, I remember when you told us about China's corruption in Panama. Yep. Stonehawk, Virginia redistricting, vote on Tuesday. Vote yes. Yeah. And you know what? Early voting, that's something else too. Early voting's been going on in Virginia, and it is looking good. It is looking good. Good job, people. We vote Tuesday in Virginia. Dying breed, Paul, you reminded me how BB needs war to survive. Imagine if the border bill that gave reps all they wanted and would have passed then. Ango's shit called Little Johnson to stop it, to run on it. Think if it had passed. Yeah, that bill was a good start. He's talking about the border bill that Trump killed so that he could have the issue during the election instead of working on the problem. That border bill was a good start. Connie lied. That's the way Democrats roll. Oh, hey, you know what? We've got an immigration issue. Let's build a system to deal with it. Johnny Lydon, thanks for being here. Thank you. DK Walk, name a country that does not have a corruption problem. Ours has been corrupt from the beginning and will be corrupt to the to end unless we fix things. Yeah, it's human nature. You're gonna have some corruption. I mean, you're gonna have a justice system. You're gonna have some law enforcement. You're gonna have some prisons. That's every damn society. Tube Kirk, Texas Paul, the exasperation you're expressing harmonizes with Trump's initial anti war appeal. Its core is a form of pacifist America First, which Trump twisted and corrupted, of course. Yep. Yep. You know what? Talk to our Norwegian friends about prisons and how they deal with prisons. Just even the way we do that here in the United States. You know, we treat people like animals, they act like fucking animals. And then we're shocked that they act like fucking animals. Metal Rabbit, the Israelis are all up in our cybersecurity. Yep. Alexander Dulforce, hate to see you in a bad mood. However, understandable. A few weeks ago, I heard you exclaim, "Taint liquor is unisex," and that cracked me up. Love what you do. Keep it up, Texas Paul. Ride or die. Yeah, I get really tired of the Karens coming in, and I know if you're Karen, if your name is Karen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just became a thing. I'm sorry. I didn't do it. I didn't make it. It is what it is. When I say when the Karens, everybody knows what I'm talking about. What she was talking about there, somebody told me I couldn't use the term taint liquor because it was homophobic. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's unisex, baby. Everybody does it. Some people are just looking for reasons to be offended. 5 p.m. I'll give you a perfect example. A perfect example. I will make a video. And look, I'm not handling you when I do this. It's something going way back when I was first making videos for Midas and stuff like this. Brett, fucking fantastic guy. He'd tell me, "Hey man, you forgot to mention this." And I'd say, "I didn't forget. I didn't forget." I'll talk about a subject. Well, for instance, perfect example. I just made a video yesterday where I mentioned characteristics of this regime. They were drunks. They were imbeciles. They're corrupt. I left out drug addiction, and pedophiles. I left that out. Why? Because I knew the comments would flood with people reminding me that I left that out. I do that so that we can have a conversation. If I say everything, then we're not having a conversation. We're having a monologue. You know what I mean? I actually had a person come into my comments and accuse me of being a pedophile and a hidden Trump supporter, if you can imagine that, because I didn't specifically mention the word pedophile. No, I didn't mention the word pedophile so that I didn't eat up all the oxygen in the room and we could have a conversation and people would have something to say in the comments. You know, I think that way. You know, don't overtalk everybody. People need to have something to say, you know. You got to hear stuff coming back the other direction. When you get that flow started, you know, once somebody starts talking to you, you get that flow started. Man, sometimes you hear things you just never heard before. And this lady, this Karen, accused me of being some sort of deviant and closet Trump supporter simply for not mentioning the word pedophile in my list of, and I was tearing Trump a new ass. And she's a legitimate lefty. I looked at her account. No, not a bot. Fuck me, man. Oh, I need a vacation. I know I need a vacation. It's been a while since I've been on vacation, and I know my patience is very low. I know, I know shit that I would just I block. You know what I mean? Just, but it hit me, man. It hit me. 5 p.m. somewhere. It seems that every global golf course is built on a cemetery. Oh, God, dog, man. David Wendell, welcome. Glad to see the new members. Welcome. Laura, welcome. Laura Vitale, welcome. Glad you're here. Great, best community anywhere online. I'm telling you, these people know their shit. New West Bill, this region has been troubled for all of my life. We would be better off to be out of it. There are things we need here. That's where I'm at, brother. I am so done with all this. Dave Mon, 1957. My brother-in-law was all in for MAGA. Now he let it slip out that he hates Trump, but he's still a bigot. Yep. Yep, Mandolia. It's okay, Texas Paul. Not much to be happy about today. Got to reach pretty far. How about Artemis? Yeah, no kidding. We can still do great things when we try. He's talking about the Artemis mission. Cecilia Coleman, I'm with you. They will be fighting for the next 100 years. We get out now. I mean it. I am. I'm at that point now where I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. October's election in Israel would have to be so fucking stellar, such a massive rebuke of Netanyahu and the radical right in Israel that it just shocked me for me to change this position. But as where I'm at right now is don't send another dollar to Israel for any reason. For any reason. Mr. Knutson, it's time for working people to unite against the corruption, demand the government spend on everything we need to make a better future, healthcare, schools, families, good wages for everyone. Yep. Yep. Zebediah Strange, will Norway take political refugees? Canada won't have us. I hear you, brother. I hear you. I hear you. Cassie Lake, in Canada, only way to be a farmer is through inheritance. Even that may not be possible soon with rising costs and corporations buying up land over kids. I'm telling you, the greed's just off the hook. We're going to have a reset. We are. Metal Rabbit. If the U.S. didn't keep backing Israel, peace would be a new sacrament for Israelis. China, Israel, and the U.S. have played geopolitics there. George Leinenweber. Me too, Paul. Biden and Harris. Yep. The world that Reagan created. Have you ever just sat and listened to Pete Buttigieg? Just really just sat and listened to the man talk? I don't need a person that is an expert on every subject. I need a person with the capacity and the drive to actually learn about every subject that comes across their desk. That's what I need in a president. And I know Pete Buttigieg, I don't think there's a subject that you could talk about that he couldn't bring experts in and become expert enough to make the appropriate decisions. Really. I really freaking like that guy. I really do. Diamond Judge. What we need to do is scream our dim message until midterms. I've been to Spain and Argentina. Both are beautiful countries, and you will love history and the beautiful cities, Madrid and Buenos Aires. I have a friend from this area that has retired and is moving down. I want to say Uruguay, right across from right across the bay from Buenos Aires. Absolutely loves it. Absolutely. They went down there and he fell in love with it. He bought 30 acres down there, and that's where they're going to spend the rest of their life. East Texas old hillbilly cowboy. I tell you what, and that they're going to spend the rest of their life down there. I'm with you, brothers, what I'm saying. And talking about Spain is a country that's been ahead of the curve. They have had enough of this shit for about a decade. They have. And Hopland, you realize you guys pay more for healthcare and medicines in the US than we do in Norway, all because private interests need their cut. Yep. Yep. And and thank you for being here. I cannot thank you enough for being part of our community. And thank you for sharing that point of view. It is one thing for old Texas Paul to sit here and say, hey, by the way, don't you know? It is something totally altogether to have a human being, a real lovely human being that is sitting here in our community talking with, saying, hey, by the way, this is good stuff, man. I mean, it makes, I cannot tell you how grateful I am. DK Walk, Social Security was not taxed till Reagan was president. Yep, that's a fact. Trolls out the airlock, Paul. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Can you believe that bitch called me a pedophile for not saying the word pedophile when I was in? Mm, 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 mm. I am out of patience, man. 5 p.m. somewhere. Imagine 29 with Pete AOC either way in charge. Crockett or Jack Smith as AG, Warren in Treasury, Tammy D leading the troops. Not a dream, it's a goal. Amen. DK Walk. Pete Buttigieg will make a great president. He would. He would. He absolutely would. He'd be somebody you could be proud of. Zebediah Strange. If we leave the Middle East, where will our military industrial complex be pointed? It is a self-sustaining monster that must earn money and blood. You know what? I am so tired of that fact that you just mentioned. I am so tired, Zebediah. I'm so tired of that fact. I got an idea. Build something else. You want to be a greedy ass corporation and you want to make shit? Build something else. That goes for the oil industry as well. Look, I get it. 45% of every barrel of oil does not go to energy. It goes to making these phones. It goes to the ink that, on this cup. It goes to, I mean, I get it. I get it. We need oil. We need oil. I always will. You want that electric car to have some lubrication so it can actually go down the road? You've got to have oil. I get it. Totally. But you know what? If you want to be an energy company, be a fucking energy company. Build some solar panels. How about a wind turbine with a big ass Exxon emblem on the side of it? I'm okay with that. I don't want you broke. No. You be you, boo-boo. But how about you just build something we fucking need? Wendy Bowen, glad to see you here. Thank you for helping me out with that. Paul, you're my number one news source. You give us news and history facts. Thanks again. I appreciate you. I just, I like for people to do that for me. That whole cruise ship thing. I mean, didn't that just kind of bring it home? $1.5 billion in boats just stuck there because Trump was in fucking trouble. He'd lost the immigration debate. He was in trouble over the Epstein files. So $1.5 billion in boats for one company just stuck in Abu Dhabi. Thousands of people, their lives disrupted, just on those two boats. I mean, it hits home, the impact of all of this, when you can see real examples of it. Dana B, welcome. Pete Buttigieg is incredibly intelligent. Yes, he is. LJ Jones, welcome. Tubekurt, Talarico, Becerra, Plattner, Ocasio-Cortez, Buttigieg, Raskin, and others looking at the bench gives me optimism. Hey, man, I am telling you, if you get involved, these people want to be reelected. They do. They really do listen to the grassroots of the party If you think calling your senator helps, you would be shocked at how much input. I have been in the room, folks. Please believe me on this. When the party gets together, when somebody comes to a region, okay, all of the county chairs show up. Those county chairs get one-on-one time. They get to talk. They get the ear of, and I don't care if it's your congressman or your senator. I don't care if it's the fucking president. When he shows up in a region, those local party members, they all get an audience. It really happens. I've been in the room, and I'm telling you, if you're there setting the message, that is the most powerful megaphone you will ever have. The most influence you will ever have is at the local level. And it really does permeate up through the party. New West Bill, build restaurants and grocery stores, keep them reasonably priced. Amen. Joan Cortez went on a cruise to Europe 5 years ago. My husband and I went down to the fjords in a speedboat dressed in suits to keep us warm. So cool. I am so jealous. I am so jealous. Before, I'm going to get some knees replaced this year if I can lose enough damn weight. All this stress. Anybody else stress eating? Is anybody else stress eating? I was losing tons. I put on 30 pounds. I have 30 pounds. I took some strawberries, Sam's. When the strawberries get old, we'll put them on clearance. So I'll bring them home. I'll buy them. It's like $2 for a huge package, right? I'll bring them home, and instead of putting them in the fridge so that tomorrow they can grow beards and be ruined, I'll bring them home, wash them. I'll cut them up and throw sugar on them, and usually cut up some bananas in there and throw sugar on it, stir it up, and let them macerate. They don't go bad that way. In the fridge, put them in the fridge, and just let them macerate overnight. I'll serve that over. I got an angel food cake in there that I bought. I have been freaking wrecking that for days. That has been my spring candy. Strawberries, bananas, and I'm telling you, pay attention at Costco and Sam's. When the strawberries start to get a little old, they'll put them on sale. It's like $2.79, and you can get a package this freaking big. I'm not even kidding. Well, I love dates. I love dates. As a matter of fact, I was butthurt for a long time. I really was. I had never had Medjool dates before. And then I just, on a whim, bought some. It was a treat. I didn't want to buy candy, so I bought Medjool dates. I was like, well, I'm going to try these. Holy shit. If you have not, I'm going to do for you what nobody did for me that I was so butthurt about. Nobody told me these things were fucking incredible. They are. Dude, if you get a chance, and I know they seem expensive. It's like $9 for a container about this big, right? They seem expensive. You won't eat that many. You won't. You'll eat 2 or 3, and they're really sweet. They're really delicious, and they don't spike your blood sugar like other things do. I don't know. There's something chemically in them. They don't spike your blood sugar. But yeah, trust me, if you haven't tried dates, get you some dates, man. Get you some dates. McBaskett says, feel you, hermano. I've been out of patience for most of my 58 years. Being woke ain't easy. God damn, I need a nap. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Sherpur, Paul, you take on the disappearance of the scientists that studied UFOs. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I dismissed that when it first started happening. Okay, just cliff notes. If you don't know what they're talking about, if you don't know what this is, we had some scientists die. Some of them disappear. Some of them die mysteriously. When it was like 4 or 5, I was like, people die, things happen. Sounds conspiracy theory to me. We're up to like 9 scientists that have it's enough that I'm saying we need to look into this. We need to look into why are these particular scientists all disappearing and dying? So yeah, we are gonna, that's gonna make it to the Texas Paul Coffee with Texas Paul show. It is. And I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, I really did dismiss it. I really did. But we're up to like 9 associated scientists that have all died. They've either vanished or died. It's crazy. George Lyman Weber, the right wing attacks against Pete were horrible. He runs, I'll support him all the way. We got a hell of a fight on our hands. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. 5 p.m. somewhere. Definitely a stress eater. Thankfully, I have a 100-pound rescue dog that steals from every plate. I'm so jealous. I am so jealous. Montana Will, what to do about the 2 SCOTUSs during this administration? Yeah, we have so much work to do. So much work to do. It's going to be years, folks. I'm not promising you an easy fix. I'm not. Look, when we win the midterms, we will control 1 out of 3 branches of government. And folks, if you think we don't have work to do, I'm not sending smoke towards this person. I'm not. There's just a lot of people that don't get it. They heard me say that in a video that when we take the midterms, I'll come right back to this. We're going to control 1 out of 3 branches of government. The response was a negative response to me that was, I can't believe you're saying we're not going to win the Senate. I can't believe you're saying we're not going to win the Senate when you yell at everybody about don't be negative. They think the House and the Senate are 2 branches of government. I very patiently explained, no, that the House and Senate are the legislature. That is 1 branch. I expect to win both of those in the midterm. That's 1 branch of government. And you've got the administrative branch. That's the presidency. And then you've got the judiciary branch. That's the Supreme Court and federal court system. When I tell you people, like it or not, there's responsibility foisted upon you, I want you to take a look at that very real thing that happened yesterday and that I had to explain to a woman that looked like she was in her 40s that the House and Congress were not 2 separate branches of the government. And this is a person that very much, very loudly, very vocally, in looking at their page, talks about politics and has very strong opinion. That does not know that very fundamental thing of what the 3 branches of government are. So when I tell you we have to remember who we're talking to, that it's your responsibility. It's landed in your lap. If you're part of this community and you can sit through this show and do an hour and a half to 2 hours of deep dive into different things that are going on, you are not the stupids. You're the smart ones. And it is our responsibility to grab these people by the hand and say, no, dear, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying at all. Let me explain. And it's also your responsibility when the people are like, if I don't have this exact thing happen right now, I'm going to burn it all down. No, we're not. No, we're not. I mean, it is really time for us to assert ourselves intelligently. Intelligently. Like I started that thing, I'm gonna keep pushing it. Vote Becerra. He gives a shit. Small little caption. Everybody can say it. Everybody can do it. I'm gonna give it a break for a couple of days. I'm gonna come back and make another video about that. Keep pounding away at it, but we've got to be smart about it. We've got to be the grown-ups in the room right now. We just have to be. Under construction. I've been doing what you're doing, losing weight for knee surgery. P.S. Have a little swear jar filler. I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you. Kate Mary Light. With you on nervous eating, got an email yesterday from National Grid. My monthly budget is going up from 190 to 225. I'm a widow. No changes in usage. I know it is hard. It is hard for everybody. It is hard. These cost increases are just they're hurting everybody. Everybody. Tiny Dragon. I lived with Italians back in my day, and they soak strawberry in sweet vermouth and sugar. Awesome. Man, that sounds good. That sounds freaking good. Metal Rabbit. Dude, get a punching bag. Angel food. Oh, man. I need to get my fat ass on my exercise bike is what I need to do. I love my wife so much. I just want to brag on my wife for a second. She found a business. You ever seen one of those businesses that buy out businesses that go out of business? They had bought out uh, uh, a forgive me, I'm tongue tied, and I'm not thinking of the name of the industry. Exercise equipment, etc. Business they had bought out an entire business that sold exercise equipment, and when we got there, all that was left was a few exercise bikes. But we got this really freaking cool exercise bike that was way more than I could ever afford to spend on an exercise bike. We got it for like $300, which is still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but this thing's like a $2,500 exercise bike, man. This thing will like it talks to you. You know, I mean, it is freaking cool, man. And I don't get my ass on it. It's sitting in my living room, and I don't get my ass on it. I should do it, man. Stress reliever. Come on, Paul. Do what you're supposed to do. Mandolia, we need to be screaming about government corruption and party complicity from now through November and all the good things we will do instead. Amen, brother. Fill the space. Fill the space. 90% shit that they're doing wrong. 10% selling the dream, brother. I am with you, man. I am with you. Hermana Adelphi, so many excellent dims for 28. Can't wait. I know. Let me give you a perfect example. People are like, what is the Democratic Party doing? Those are people that aren't paying any attention whatsoever. Right now, we got a race in the 33rd district here in Texas. And I'll give you this example because it's right up the road from me. But these kind of things are happening right where you live also. We've got two candidates that are incredible. You got Julie Johnson, who's been on the show before. Awesome freaking congresswoman. Incredible. She really is. She is so damn smart and really good with the strategy. I mean, she's an outstanding congresswoman. She's running against Colin Allred. Colin Allred was an outstanding. His work for veterans, and he got a private hospital to donate hospital group to donate an entire hospital to the VA. Yeah. These two are having to run against each other because of the bullshit piece of shit redistricting here in Texas. They're fighting it out in this. We've got to choose between these two incredible people in the primary. The other side of that is look at these two incredible people that the Democrats are putting up for us, Yeah. Yeah. Pretty goddamn amazing. Pretty damn amazing. Ryan CT. Unfortunately, I think we need the next candidate must be straight white male, 6 feet or taller. Bonus points for waspy name and philandering. John Edwards, where you at? Voted for Biden and not Harris. Bigots voted for Biden and not Harris. Um, man, it's a sad fucking fact. You and I voted for Kamala Harris. I didn't give a shit she's a woman of color. I don't give a shit that she's a woman. She was the best candidate in the race. And I am prouder of that vote every damn day. The Trump regime makes me prouder of that vote every damn day. Yeah, we got to remember the stupids are out there. We got to remember it's not just us. And as distasteful as it is, there's a lot of people that feel exactly like you do. I'm not saying it's the only way to go. I don't want to get a lot of people mad at me, but yeah. Yeah. We got to remember we're talking to the stupids. We've got to campaign like we're talking to the stupids. It can't just be us talking to each other. We have got to get it out there. I don't care who the next candidate is. I don't care if Kamala Harris wins the nomination again. We've got to be better. You and I have to be better next time around than we were last time around. The messaging has to be on. We've got to do the fighting. We do. We've got to make sure we get it out there. Concise, clear, that Cletus can understand. Chandra Patton, and they want to cut funding for education? Yep. Sheila G. Make civics great again. George Leinenweber, I stay sane by playing blues guitar and now splitting firewood for a dear friend. Good meditation. Man, that sounds like a great day. That sounds like a great day. Beth, Chaos Dragon. Glad to see you here, Beth. Thank you for the support. Glad to see you here. My mom kept a jar of fruit cocktail sugar and wine yeast on the kitchen counter. Now that sounds like some booze brewing right there, Red. All right. Paul P. 1701. I figured it out why these people are all loopy. The orange turd just signed an executive order to accelerate research into psychedelics. They must all be on mushrooms. This explains it all. Actually, I was just having, it's funny you should bring that up. I was just having this conversation the other day with someone about ketamine research. We started out with a conversation about that dumbass Elon Musk, and his ketamine bullshit. But yeah, they're finding out in the VA that PTSD, psychedelics, I'm talking about acid, that people with PTSD and I'm talking about, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me I am not your doctor. I'm not prescribing you psychedelics. I'm not telling you to use psychedelics. I'm telling you that actual doctors in controlled settings that know what the fuck they're doing have been working with veterans with PTSD, and the occasional dose of acid does something to the circuitry in their brain, causing a reset. And it helps. It helps. I mean, they're really just shocked at how much it helps. Same thing with ketamine. They're finding that people, not just veterans, anybody with PTSD that is, I don't want to get into if you've never helped somebody, family member that's dealt with mental issues, depression, and there's a circuit that your mind gets into chemically that is difficult to break. It's difficult to medicate, They're finding out that just a juice of ketamine or some psychedelics actually help to reset it. It's amazing stuff, man. It is really amazing. 5 p.m. somewhere. As a widower, I love when you're on honor and spoiled Mississippi. She's the best. She's the best. I just hope she never figures out how out of my league she's in. She is. You need to put bike time in your schedule with an alarm. You know, amen. And I think we could all stand to do this. Some of you people are so disciplined, you don't need to hear this. Just ignore me for a second. I know I have gotten away from my set schedules. There's something to be said about, and it was my doctor that told me this. It was my doctor that told me this after we moved up here. You people that have jobs, just plain old jobs, they have someone else that tells them you will be here at 9 o'clock. You will be here till 5 o'clock. That schedule, and actually, it's not the first time I ever heard it. The first time I ever heard it was actually from a military officer talking about why you should make your bed when you wake up in the morning, talking about getting the momentum going and getting the rigidity of that schedule and the purpose. Yeah, man, it's a thing. It's a thing. And I think just like we stray away from eating well, and we stray away from exercise, and we stray away from the having that reset where we set ourselves a schedule. You are spot on, my friend. This, I know I took the long way around the mountain to get to agree with you, but I'm absolutely agreeing with you 100%. 100%. This is great advice. If you're feeling chaos in your life, step back and take a look and see if you don't need to set yourself a schedule to do things. Alexander Dolforce, I admire your patience with people who don't understand our government and yet vote like they do. I need to do better myself in that regard. Oh man, I'm telling you, this is one that just got me because this lady was loud on social media. I mean, she was commenting like a dozen times a day on different topics. And I was just like, wow. Skeet Sayer, the fact remains that women of color are not respected. Hidden Figures actually made me cry. If you have not seen Hidden Figures, go watch that movie. That is an outstanding movie. Hidden Figures actually made me cry, and with the truth that was hidden. Yeah, I'm telling you. If you haven't seen Hidden Figures, go watch that movie. You will love that movie. You will. Metal Rabbit, we need Civic Shadow YouTube videos. Yeah, I agree with you. Wendy Bowman. Sorry, I forgot the most important. Thank you for the teaching. Thank you for teaching people. No, man, this community is so far ahead. I feel like I don't teach you anything. You people are so plugged in and so aware. George Lynden Weber got these amazing midterms coming up. Wow. Veggie Owl Girl, I deal with stress by walking and walking my dog, and Mystery is a cuddler. That's a great name for a dog. She snuggles up and is in heaven as I pet her. Dogs are great. Dogs are great. Monica Meadows, I have lots of ex-military friends that use microdosing to cope with PTSD. They all say it is better than the other meds given. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That is really huge. It is really huge. The changes that people are seeing. I mean, people are going from straight up suicidal and can't cope to fully functioning, back in the saddle, man. I mean, it is really amazing the data that's coming out of that. Jenny, 2025. I hope MAGA finally realizes that character does matter. If your life prior to office has included dirtbaggery, your political actions will reflect it. Yep. It was Barack Obama that said that the presidency amplifies who you are. Ryan CT, it's sad that in 2026 diversity is a problem, but all distractions must be removed. This is life or death, war or peace. Trust me, I want peace. I am not going to sit here and say, pick a tall white dude. I'm not going to say that. I will say, don't not pick a tall white dude for diversity's sake. I'm saying everybody needs to be on the table. Nobody needs to. I mean, it is a good diversity is a good thing. I'm just saying this election, don't rule out a tall white dude just to rule out a tall white dude. We need somebody that is appealing, intelligent, and can get it done. I am in no way saying, hey, go, no. I'm saying, as always, ride or die, fight it out in the primaries, fight it the fuck out, leave it all on the floor, get it all out there, fight for your people, but rule out no one except no scumbags, no scumbags. George Weber. Oh my God, we got to do the ad for the cat here in Cali, my home state. All right, DK Walk. Microdosing helps your memory too. Oh shit, maybe I need to be microdosing. Lady Di, I heard an official at NATO resigned because they were preparing for nuclear war. Any ideas if it's true? And also, what's up with Trump's nuclear bunker? No, I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's true at all. In every conflict, you will get people that say, oh, this is nuclear war, and it never is. I cannot imagine them utilizing nuclear weapons in this situation. I just can't. They want the oil. They want the oil. They want the oil flowing out of Iran. I mean, nuclear weapons would prevent that. And not to mention, we have people that are allies just like right across the Gulf. I mean, it's not a very big Gulf. Is there anything that y'all would like to talk about before we call it? I know we've got a few minutes left. I know we've gone almost 2 hours. I appreciate you putting up with my saltiness today. Yeah. I believe he has the best healthcare money can buy. He has hospital level healthcare in his residency. But I believe he's that sick. I do. I believe I believe they are keeping him alive. That is a fact. That man is dying right in front of us. Microdosing is a medical term. Um, there is the dosage that you would use, like take ketamine, for example. It's a sedative. They would normally use it in a dose that would, knock you out. They're finding that if they take very small doses or micro doses, and instead of using it as its intended purpose, again, ketamine is a sedative. It is supposed to be in a large enough dose to actually reduce severe pain, and I mean, it's a pretty big shot that they normally give you. If they give you a very small dose as a treatment on a treatment schedule, they're finding that it actually helps people with PTSD. That's what microdosing is. It's literally in the name. It's just a micro dose delivered more as a medication than as a sedative. And this right here, Max T person, ketamine is dissociative, very effective, effectively severs cause and consequence comprehension seriously. Um, it's not a don't fuck around with ketamine. Don't, don't. I don't do, I, I'm not a prude. I'm not. You want to smoke grass, whatever. I don't. I don't do drugs. I rarely drink. I buy me a 30 pack of beer twice a year, 60 beers in a year. That includes beers that I hand out to guests. That includes beers that other family members drink. I'm not a big drinker. I'm not. Or, drugs, this, that, and the other. So and I always caution people that want to do drugs recreationally, get another recreation, get another hobby. But yeah, the stigma that we put on this shit, you know, that's got to stop. That's got to stop. It, we've looked at this wrong forever. We've got to quit trying to punish our way out of everything. It's stupid. It's just stupid. The war on drugs is idiocy, and we have to change the way we look at them. We really do. We really do. I don't look at somebody smoking grass any different than anybody drinking a beer. I don't. I don't look at it any differently. Or edibles, yeah. Damn, brother, buying that expensive beer. Kudos. Prost. That's some good beer right there, man. If you've never had a Youngling, veggie algal in the military, DEI is called teamwork. Hey, you know what? Pete Hegseth is the perfect example of what you get when you don't use DEI. Remember, DEI was just simply finding the best candidates no matter where they come from. When you don't do that, you get Pete Hegseth, which is just a mediocre fucking white dude that has no business in the job. DEI is a pretty damn good thing. In fact, I think Pete Hegseth is probably one of the best sales points for DEI we could ever come up with. Skeet Sayre, the Mad King will be gone by my birthday on Cinco de Mayo. I don't know if it'll be that soon because I tell you, those doctors he's got available to him are pretty damn good. I wish some of them would go on vacation. DK Watt, can we all encourage Jasmine Crockett to run against Ted Cruz in 2028? We need her in the Senate. I don't think we're going to have to encourage her to do that. Oh, Jasmine's a fighter, man. You watch. Jared Kalkinen, Texas Paul, did you see Steve Bannon piss his pants? Yes. That nasty motherfucker. Yes. Just sat on a stage and pissed his pants. 1 second. Ah, I fell for it. I did. I fell for it. I fell for it. See, even happens to me, folks. They were showing pictures of him where it looked like he pissed his pants, but somebody actually showed a non-fuzzed out clear picture where it's actually parachute style pants in there with different color fabric. Let me show you comparison of the two pictures. See, even I fall for it sometimes. I didn't talk about it on purpose, but yeah, it's this is the picture that was going around. They kind of blur it out. It looks like he just pissed his pants on the World Economic Forum, or I should say the Singapore Economic Forum. But yeah, it's just different fabric on his pants, on the crotch area. Still a nasty motherfucker. Sometimes I think they put that shit out on purpose, that it's like an op, put false shit out just to make fake news a real thing. Conrad, in 10 minutes on that bike, you will feel so much better. I know. I know. That's what makes me so mad. Look, just because I'm a fat guy doesn't mean I don't understand why I'm a fat guy. I am the most real person you'll ever meet about being a fat guy, because I do. I'm one of those people. I'll lose a lot of weight. I'll be in great shape for a long time, and then I'll gain a bunch of weight, and then I know. Eat too much, move too little, baby. That's what it is. McDonald's don't have nothing to do with that. It's just you. Either you eat too much and move too little. We were designed and built. I want you to think about this for a second. No bullshit. Don't listen to nutters on Instagram selling bullshit supplements and this, that, and the other. You were designed to say, okay, you see that deer over there? I'm going to chase that thing till it drops, till it's so exhausted that it cannot run away from me anymore and I can kill it. That is literally what you evolved to do. That's what you're capable of. We look at deer and think, oh man, fast, agile creature. You literally, that's why we walk on two legs instead of four. That's why we're bipedal, because it makes us super efficient at running, because we're literally falling down with every step. We're falling forward with every step. We're just catching ourselves is all we're doing. We're one of the most hyper efficient hunters out there by design. You were designed to move miles every day to feed yourself. And you're hyper efficient with your food. We're incredibly efficient metabolisms. Yeah. So not only do we have an excess amount of food available, we don't move anymore. That's why we're fat. Ta-da! Problem solved. Everybody get up and go for a run. Oh my God. No shit, it is. It's really messing with all our chemistry, our brain chemistry, everything. We were designed to get way more sunshine and way more movement than we ever do. That is the answer to most problems. Chandra Patton, as my grandma would say, keep on keeping on, Paul. Thank you for being you. Thank you, Mrs. and Mrs. Tex Paul, for keeping them up. Love you both. I'm so glad you're here. I am. Thank you, Chandra, for being here. DK, I use Willie's Remedy hemp-derived drink in microdose to help me sleep at night. Yeah, I'm over the war on drugs. I really am. Nora PLV, Putin was given the names of our scientists. George Leinenweber, Javier Becerra. Yeah. I'm making commercials online for the dude for free, voluntarily. Absolutely amazing resume. He's the most qualified person running for governor, period, in California. Of all the candidates left, as much as I love Katie Porter, Javier Becerra's resume is better than Katie Porter's. Proud Texas, we're walking a lazy river at rec center, easy on the joints. Yeah. She's not wrong. She's talking about the aquatic therapy, the working out in the pool, and yeah, Skeet's there. That is why men are anatomically stronger than women. It is also why mommy runs the house, as she is designed to be empathetic. Ever see a mama bear and her cubs? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not wrong. Genetically, you're not wrong. Tell me why do they keep Trump alive? It's their job, Wendy. It's that whole Hippocratic oath bullshit. So can't you just switch his medication out with Flintstone chewables? Do the do it for the world, man. Dying Breed Garage. Paul, I lost 53 pounds since January 25, 20. I'm assuming you're saying January 2025, and cut my triglycerides and alt in half, from cut my food intake by half, no processed meats, cut out bread by 80%, fruit for lunch, breakfast, and grilled meat and salad. I work on my cars to stay sane. Brother, you sound like what we all need to be doing. We all need to be doing. But you know what? I've made peace with myself in that I know what I like. I'm going to slice me up some capicola. I'm going to. I, I, I I'm gonna, I'm gonna eat some prosciutto. I'm gonna eat some, yeah, man, bacon. I'm gonna eat bacon. I mean, I know what I am, and I know why I look like how I look. So I'm not resentful for it. But you, sir, are on the right path. You are nailing it. I just need to get out and move more. I know that much. I need to move more. I'm not shooting for skinny. I'm shooting for light enough to get my knees replaced. Jerry Ring. Bannon still sat down so slowly and cautiously as if he was going to poop himself. On a serious side, keep an eye out on Project 2025, please. George Lyman Weber. Somebody could we all get together? I'd bring my guitar and amp. We'd have a big old barbecue. Want to go to Austin someday? I hear you, brother. I hear you. I hear you. I think more of us need that. I think more of us need that. I think more of us need to get together and have some, person on person time. Get outside. This summer's going to be good, I think, for all of us. I think it is. I mean, things are moving in the right direction. Politically, we're getting involved or staying involved. The weather's getting better. I think this is going to be good for all of us this summer. I think you're going to see. I know I'm doing, I'm already doing more outside. I'm cutting brush and stuff, catching up on stuff that needed to be done. I'm throwing myself into my gardens more. I think, I really do. I think it's going to be a good thing. I do. Folks, thank you for spending your afternoon with me, your Sunday afternoon with me. I know 2 hours is a very long time. I am very grateful for you to be here. All you people that are sending support via PayPal and Zelle and all the other, I see them. I see you. Vince, I see you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Y'all are freaking fantastic. Y'all really are. On that note, enjoy some Texas cities at night.